Hello, great people. Welcome back to Global Happenings. Today, we're so excited to have you again. Peter Obi is still a very serious topical issue in the political scene, but this time around, fear is looming. And the reason for that fear is because there is a security threat against his life, and which has been uncovered by the Ndibos. You get to know how they got to hear about this threat and the warning that they are sending out. Don't forget that Peter Obi is such a simple man who doesn't go around with anything like security. Anytime you see him, whether outside or maybe going to the airport and all of that. He doesn't go with security. He goes all alone. And, that's not really okay. Right now, there's a serious threat against his life, which the Igbo youths have revealed. And they have this to tell those who are intending to do it against Peter Obi. But before we continue with details of the news, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our video. And according to the news, the coalition of Southeast Youth Leaders, COSEYL, has warned against a large plan by some terrorists to assassinate the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi. A statement issued on Saturday by the President General of the coalition, Goodluck Ibem, alleged that some terrorists told their kidnapped victims who were freed recently that they have concluded plans to take out Obi over his decision to run for the presidency in 2023, saying Peter Obi is a threat. Replying to the threat, COSEYL said Peter Obi has a constitutional right as a bona fide citizen of Nigeria to run for any political office of his choice, saying the threat may attract war. The statement read in part, it said, nobody should think that he or she has a monopoly of violence. That we are peaceful does not mean that we are weak or senseless. Mr. Peter Obi, as a bona fide citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and born in Nigeria, has the constitutional right to contest for any political office he deems fit, and nobody can stop him. Anyone who thinks he wants to attack Peter Obi is sick, and the sickness will be treated appropriately at the right time. Only a wicked person will be comfortable with the current state of the nation. Our country is in dire need of a drastic change that will turn things for good, and some persons are plotting to make matters worse because of their selfish agenda. We want these criminals to know that even a madman is owned by some persons, and if you touch him thinking that as a madman roaming on the street, he has nobody, his real owners will come out to defend him. We call on the security agencies to immensely move into action and arrest the real criminals plotting to take out Mr. Peter Obi just because he is contesting for the office of the president, which he is eminently qualified to do so in enough said. Those were the words of those southeastern youths about the alleged plot, which, according to what they said that information came into circulation via kidnapped victims who were freed. They said that the people who kidnapped them said that Peter Obi is such a huge threat, and very soon they are going to deal with him. They are going to take him out. And there have been a lot of reactions on social media on this issue, and also the threat that these guys have sent out. But I feel that at this point, being that Peter Obi is a name to reckon with when it comes to presidential election in 2021, it's needful for him to protect himself, get security agencies that will be working with him. That will not make him less or more of Obi that we have known. Because for now, one of the things you cannot assure any Nigerian right now is security. And if anything can happen to anybody. So at least everyone should try to see how they can protect him and all of that. Because, my brother, the truth is that life is just one. Life is one. No matter the intended plan to wage war against those perpetrators of such act, it won't change the reality if it such happen that the person is already off the shores of this world. You understand? And the wisdom demands that he should be protected. Everything that is required to make sure that no evil come nigh him should be done. Even as we are engaging in prayers to see him being protected, at the same time, it is expected that he should get security agencies to work with him to protect him. And we also believe that he will also watch the time he is setting out and all of that. We know that he's a just man, as most people have said. And as such, God Himself is interested in him. And I also feel that Nigerians will do all within their powers to see that no evil, plan comes to fulfillment in his life. But then he owes himself that responsibility of protecting his life, of knowing where he goes to at the time he goes to. No matter how simple you are, you must not be a simpleton. You understand? Yeah. Everyone can have access to you, everyone can come close to you, and all of that. But just an injection can change anything. And during the time, like the last time, somebody suggested something like that and made mention of a particular prince somewhere that crowd just came like that, and before he knew, there was an ejection, and that was the end of him. And guess what? Nigerians can do such with the level of insecurity. Any of such things can happen. So just as we are always told that prevention is better than cure, obedience is better than sacrifice. So even as we are, chanting and singing the obedient nations, songs and all of that, Peter Obi himself need to be obedient to some of this advice, so that we won't wake up one day and hear these stories that touch, because I know that just that alone would tear the country apart. Because with what I'm seeing thus far, this is not just Peter Obi. These are youths who are ready to do anything to ensure that he comes on board as the president of Nigeria come 2023. I don't know where the plan is coming from. I don't know how who the people who are behind all of this, but all we can do is to ensure that he is protected. All right, let's just look at what Nigerians have to say in a jiffy. This one here says Peter Obi needs to protect himself. Nigeria is not a country that cares about issues of that kind. If he dies today, that will be the end of it. No matter the war we will fight, it won't change anything. Another person here says Peter Obi is an anointed servant of God with the purpose of correcting the narrative of Nigeria. I know so well that nothing will happen to him. My brother, even if you know that nothing will happen to him, wisdom demands that he should protect himself. You understand? Another person here says, I cover him with the blood of Jesus. No weapon formed against him shall prosper, and every tongue that rises up against him in judgment shall be condemned, as that of Mbaka, Umayi, Wike has been condemned. That's a strong statement there. Another person here says this is a serious threat and everyone needs to take it seriously. But I don't like the fact that ethnicity is coming into this thing, because by the time you play this ethnicity card before Nigerians, too often a lot of people will retrieve and will go back to supporting those who are from their ethnic group. That is a very important statement also. We really need to look at that seriously. Peter Obi is not just an Igbo man. Peter Obi is a Nigerian leader who Nigerians want to pass through him to correct the narrative of the country, the negative narrative of the country. So we shouldn't just be shouting, he's an Igbo man, he's an Igbo. We all know that he's an Igbo man, but then right now we are looking for a rescuer, someone who can rescue us from, the depth of this economic decline that we found ourselves. So we don't need that ethnicity stuff to keep coming on and on. That's where I like to leave it. Go to our comment section. What's your standpoint on this issue of threat to his life? That's Peter Obi's life. Let's interact.